Hello there, my beautiful souls. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing today, as always. But as you can see, we're beginning this daily reading with the messenger of fire. So it's meant to be a very passion-filled day, and you're meant to be feeling a bit off. All right, let me explain. You're meant to be feeling a bit disconnected, but very connected in other ways. You're meant to be feeling passionate in regards to this and that, while your passion feels lacking or not completely there in regards to this and that otherwise. But it's going to be as well a day for you where naturally the messenger of fire coming through to begin, where you're doing a solid amount of speaking. You're getting your voice out there selectively, and it just feels, maybe for some drawn to this reading, a lot easier to do so, to get your voice out there than you've been experiencing recently. And so there's a significance in regards to you feeling this new energy of ease when communicating what you're meant to, communicating what's of importance, obviously varying from beautiful soul to beautiful soul, from case to case. But I'm sensing that you're going to be seeing the number 1 and the number 3 quite often throughout this day. And you're going to want to better understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling at this point along your path. And it feels to be, for the most part, good. A lot of sort of fulfilling and satisfying and intriguing kind of moments coming throughout this day. But then they're saying sometimes when you're feeling good in the moment, sometimes when things affect you positively, even at times when things are affecting you negatively, which again doesn't feel to be the main energy here for this day period, even surrounding it. But regardless of what feeling or emotion or energy we're speaking upon for you in the moment, don't try to figure it out. Don't try to better understand it. At times, sure, that can hold its importance, its benefit, but it doesn't feel like it's a day where you need to understand or further understand why you're in the energy or feeling the way you're feeling in that moment. Let's just embrace it. But, and they're saying if it's something where you feel like you can't fully or at all embrace it in the moment, at least try to learn from it. But I'm hearing also maybe some acceptance needs to come into play. But I'm being drawn to look at the little chihuahua that I've become quite fond of, that I live with currently. And so I feel like there's something about you having a larger presence than you feel at times. You having a larger presence that you do feel and sense at times than you do normally, which feels less often, less frequent in comparison to when you're not aware of it. But I'm getting that from, when I first moved in, that chihuahua was very loud and outspoken and had a huge fiery personality. But, physically, that chihuahua was quite small. Anyways, but you may also be experiencing at least one form of loyalty that you have, if not a couple or a few at most, actually really paying off for you at this time. And so it feels like it's a day for you to be seeing results, feeling like you've been committed to something, if not, again, 2 or 3 at most somethings, situations, and you're starting to see efforts paying off. But moving on to the moon card on the left, as well as on the right, the king of air. And so in the midst of this day where you're being labeled as some sort of messenger of passion, messenger of fire, you're being viewed in this very King of Swords kind of light. And so I feel like you're needing to more than ever honor yourself, while it's a day period where people will most definitely be honoring you. And so there's kind of a feeling with these 2 images here where in different ways you're being pushed to put your crown on, or allow for certain factors of your current day reality coming to be to, in a sense, put that crown on for you, or maybe more so adjust it if you felt like it's been kind of tilting, falling off a bit. But I do feel like this is a time for you where you're feeling in more of a subtle way this bold energy coming to be, maybe even increasing, and for some of you being felt differently. And I want to say that it's a time for you where, for the most part, you're overly serious, but it doesn't mean you're lacking happiness or even partial happiness in that moment, and throughout the day in general. And so I feel like it's a time for you to remember that there are different kinds of happiness. There are different kinds of emotions of all kinds. And it feels like in the midst of this serious energy, I mean, you can see it in the moon, energy as well, or in general. But then as well, rather, you can see it in both of these people here. And so I feel like in the midst of, once again, this somewhat, if not fully serious kind of energy that we're within and embracing, you're feeling the mystery more than ever alive. And so that's talking about you, right? Maybe in regards to your soul growth, but a lot of which it feels like you're thinking about the mystery of what lies ahead. You're thinking about, well, how is this situation that I'm currently within, in some way, shape, or form, how is this going to continue? Will it end up anything like the past? I feel you need the reminder that it's not going to end up like the past, okay? Because some of you are a little bit fearful or a bit worried, even if that's not the main way of you viewing or feeling about this situation that's at hand or your path in general. Deep down beneath the surface, part of you does worry or fear the past repeating itself. And so remember, my friend, I say it many times on this channel, you do manifest. So that can absolutely transition into a state of what you were fearing or expecting or worrying about coming to fruition moving forward. So just be careful. But I also feel like you're going to want some sort of mystery cleared up. And they're saying, okay, this might be the first time you're desiring it, asking for it, maybe demanding it. But even if you've asked or demanded for it before, Spirit's saying, patience, my friend. On the horizon, in the near future, I'm hearing the very near future, this will be cleared up and you'll feel like it was the right timing all the meanwhile. But I want to put this one back. Sorry, I pulled a card for the left-hand side to add on to the moon card, the world's card. And so it feels like a time, as my mic falls apart, it also feels like a time for you where your world seems to be shifting and evolving more than you can sense. But then there may be a moment or two throughout this day where you stop and you take a hot second and observe or feel things out, or maybe remember something of importance. And it somehow sparks this realization, or better realization, that your world is absolutely developing at this time, but it honestly isn't always easy in the midst of everything you go through in life, involves in whatnot. It's not as easy to remember or notice this world evolution and whatnot. So I feel like Spirit's saying that you're going to find some sort of, I'm hearing entanglement, but it's more of an intertwining, a connecting somehow of your voice being utilized, coming through very passionately throughout this day. Might have something to do with Spirit, here and there. But again, that feels to be somehow intertwining with how your world is evolving at this time. And so that may transition into your voice coming through even more powerfully, even more passionately. And it's feeling like you're going to be speaking from the heart, from the soul. And so the words that are conveyed at this time, the messages that come through, even if you don't feel it holds significance in the moment or even after the fact, it does. Okay, it holds value and it's going to be digested in this way. And so I'm getting now this sort of empowered kind of energy about you throughout the day, where you say something with conviction and you feel more empowered. You complete something with confidence and passion and you feel more empowered. You put something into place or rearrange something, reorganize, clean things up with passion and confidence and maybe even a bit of enjoyment all the meanwhile. And it leaves you feeling more empowered. I'm hearing it could even increase your confidence and leave you all the meanwhile feeling more at ease somehow. All right. And so it feels like there's just a lot of positive efforts being put forth towards this and that of importance throughout this day, by you, of course. And it's leaving you with certain positive benefits. Beautiful. But the Six of Water and the Seven of Water, because it also feels like a day where you're thinking about giving back. You may be also thinking about giving back to yourself more in maybe different or improved ways so that you can push forward and make the best out of how your world is changing at this time. And also, how to make the best out of your passionate, important voice and your purpose otherwise. But the Seven of Water as well, because it feels like you have a lot going on. And I also want you to remember that the way you're becoming, the way you're feeling empowered, and the way you're putting yourself to use, all right, including once again your voice being put to use, it's all leaving you with more to do moving forward, but it's leaving you with different forms of important results, like we were saying, but it's also leaving you with different options of importance popping up for you now, feeling more relevant for the end of the stay period, but even more relevant and obvious to you in the upcoming days, weeks, where it just feels like you're creating opportunity. You're creating the new for you, or the potential of which moving forward. And it's because you're willing to and wanting to, choosing to put in the effort where you intuitively feel you should. Or maybe you feel like you need to. But it's going to be a day for you as well where they're saying bask in your alone time, all right? But bask in the connectivity that is created and exists throughout this day otherwise. But also look up the spiritual meaning, or the angel number meaning rather, of the number 9. But they're saying you're growing, my friend. Your world is evolving and your voice is standing out so passionately in the crowd, all right? Stand tall and proud in the midst of this mysterious spotlight and know that things are changing exactly as they're meant to. All right, my friends? So those are your random messages. I hope it was truly helpful. I am, of course, sending you so much love and light. Do take care.